With early voting almost wrapped up in the very important Virginia governor's and House of Delegate races, I thought we'd take a look at the numbers and see what it can tell us about the possible results this coming Tuesday. In fact, we just surpassed the total early vote from 2021, with now over 1.2 million ballots cast in this race, which could well be about half of the total ballots cast overall. However, unlike our friends in New Jersey, we don't know which political party these individual voters belong to, so we need to use some other methods to uncover who they may be supporting. This is a map of early vote turnout in the state of Virginia by House of Delegates seat. Darker green means more voters have turned out so far in this election. You can see here that in Western Virginia, which is more Republican, we have relatively lower turnout. However, in some of the rural areas in the middle of the state, as well as I believe what is called the Tidewater region, we have very high voter turnout, and those tend to be more Republican areas. Zooming in on the eastern part of Virginia, we can see more clearly the three main areas of Democratic support. The most important one is in Northern Virginia, outside of D.C. That's Fairfax County, Loudoun County, Arlington, Alexandria. There you can see we have a mixed picture of very high turnout areas along with some mid and low turnout areas. Then we have Richmond, which is, of course, the capital of Virginia. Here we have lower turnout in the core city, but then higher turnout in some of the suburban blue counties, especially in Henrico, which I believe that's how you pronounce that. And then down in the bottom right, we have pretty low turnout in the core Democratic areas in Virginia Beach, Newport News, and then the surrounding areas tend to be a little more Republican with a lot of military and ex military voters. This turnout picture is also confounded by the fact that in even Republican areas, the early voters tend to be more Democratic. So you may have areas in Virginia where Democrats win the mail vote, the in person early vote, and then lose the election day vote by enough that they lose that House of Delegates seat. So there is a firm called L2 that estimates who they think has voted based on partisan leaning. So they predict around a 200,000 vote firewall in early voting so far, with obviously a little more to come as the last early votes are cast. This is in line with other Democratic victories in the state, but of course, this is model data and not based on actual party registration. Last but not least, we have what the polls are telling us, and nothing in the data so far I find is contrary to this polling, which shows some separation at the end with Spamberger taking around a 10-point lead against Winsome Earl Sears, the current lieutenant governor. I think many people think she has not run a great race, that is Winsome Earl Sears, although on the attorney general side, we are heading into a much closer contest just because of some scandal surrounding the Democratic candidate, so he could potentially lose. If Spamberger does win by 9 or 10, we are looking for a potential 8-seat pickup in the House of Delegates, which would give Democrats 59 seats, which would be a big victory for them.